For 300 years, the galaxy called out to Earth. They sent messages, signals, even golden ships with gifts. Every time, the result was the same: silence. Most species believed Earth was dead. Some thought it had destroyed itself. A few whispered darker things. That Earth had chosen silence, high above the galactic core, inside a shining crystal tower. The United Council met again. "We've tried everything," said Speaker Vor, a tall insectoid with glowing eyes. "We sent peace, we sent science. Earth ignores all." "They may not have the technology," suggested a blue-skinned ambassador. "No," Vor hissed. "They had advanced tech centuries ago. We saw their satellites, and then they vanished." The room fell quiet. Then a voice came from the corner. It was soft, calm, but everyone listened. "Earth is not silent," said Director Kella, a human-like A representative from the Orion cluster. "Earth is watching." The council laughed nervously. "You speak in riddles," Vor snapped. But before anyone could respond, an alert rang through the chamber. The galaxy's deep space sensors had picked up something strange. A signal. From Earth. It was one word. One language. Just 5 letters. "Wait." The council sent a small exploration team immediately. Just one ship, silent, fast, no weapons. Their mission was clear: observe Earth, understand the message, and return. Captain Drex led the crew, 3 species, 5 members, all trained in deep reconnaissance. The ship was named a Whisper, and it moved like a shadow through space. As they neared the solar system, things began to go wrong. First, their long-range communication failed. Then, the star maps on their navigation screen started to flicker and twist, as if space itself didn't want to be read. "Captain," said Ree, a gray-feathered pilot, "we just lost gravity control." Drex floated to the main screen. Earth was close now, blue, green, calm. "Switch to manual," he said. "No tech tricks, old-school eyes." As they entered Earth's orbit, everything died. Lights, engines, shields. They were drifting now, powerless, above a sleeping world. And then the moon opened. A massive section of it peeled back like a door. Not natural, not old rock. This was steel, machinery, hidden for centuries. "Is it a ship?" whispered one crew member. "No," Drex said slowly. "It's a sensor. It's been watching the whole time." The ship's emergency lights flashed. A beam of invisible energy scanned them. The screen came alive again, but it didn't show Earth. It showed them. The crew, every heartbeat, every thought, every molecule. Then a voice filled the ship. It wasn't robotic. It wasn't alien. It was human. "You came too early," it said. The crew looked at each other in silence. Then the ship moved. They weren't flying. They were being pulled down into Earth's atmosphere. The descent was smooth. Too smooth. Like the planet wanted them to land. They touched down in the middle of a great city. Skyscrapers stood tall, untouched by time. Roads were clean. Cars were parked. But there were no people. Not one. "This is wrong," said Ree. "The world is alive, but no one is home." They stepped out in suits. The air was perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. Cleaner than any world they'd seen. Suddenly, Ree stopped walking. "Did you hear that?" she asked. "No," said Drex. "What did you hear?" But Ree was gone. No scream, no struggle, just gone. "Get back to the ship," Drex ordered. They ran, but the ship was no longer there. Where it had landed, there was now a park, trees, grass, a bench. "No burn marks," said one crew member. "No debris, nothing. It's like it never existed." A large screen on a nearby building lit up. Static filled the air. Then an image appeared. A human, not a soldier. Not a scientist, just a young woman, sitting in a chair, smiling. "If you're watching this," she said, "you came before the time. But that's okay. We left this message just in case." "Where is everyone?" Drex whispered. The woman on screen smiled. "We left. Not because we had to, but because we chose to. Earth was too small. So we reached out farther than your minds can follow." She leaned forward. "We heard your messages. All of them. We even answered, but you didn't hear." The crew stared, frozen. "Humanity is not gone," she said. "We are everywhere now." The screen cut to black. For a moment, silence returned. Then Drex noticed something odd. The buildings, they were changing, shifting slightly. Becoming newer. Cleaner. As if reacting to their presence. "It's like the city is alive," someone whispered suddenly. The ground beneath them opened. They fell into darkness. Not far, just enough to land in a large metal hall. Lights buzzed above. Screens lit up, this time showing other worlds. Planets they knew. Some they didn't. All had one thing in common. Signs of human activity. Not recent. Ongoing. Double quotes. "This isn't a planet." Drex whispered. "It's a message." A door opened. Behind it stood a figure, tall, armored, with glowing eyes. It looked human. But not entirely. "Welcome," it said. "I am Sentinel-1. You have entered a preserved zone. You are safe for now. Where are the people?" Drex asked. "They ascended," the Sentinel replied. "Beyond flesh, beyond time. Earth remains as a gatekeeper. What do you want from us?" Drex asked again. The Sentinel stepped forward. "To remember," it said. "To tell the galaxy that humanity never fell, it only rose." Then it raised one hand and tapped a screen. Suddenly, the crew saw themselves recorded. "Scanned, copied. You will return," the Sentinel said. "You will. Share what you've seen. But speak carefully. Many will fear. Some will lie. Few will believe." A light surrounded them. In an instant, they were back in their ship. Systems running. Orbit restored. No trace of the landing. No moon machine. No beacon. Was it real? Someone asked. On Drex's console, a blinking message appeared. "We see you." The whisper returned to the console days later. The report was short, confusing, terrifying. Speaker Vor read it and frowned. "So, Earth is alive?" Drex nodded. "More than that," he said. "It's awake." The room fell into deep silence. "Should we prepare for war?" Another asked. "No," Drex replied. "We should prepare for their return." The whisper was silent as it drifted far above Earth. Systems were back online, but the crew didn't feel safe. They had landed. They had seen strange things. But now it was like the planet below had never moved. No signal, no change. No proof. Captain Drex stood by the viewing screen. Earth looked quiet again. Peaceful. But he knew better. "Nothing's real here," he said quietly. The feathered pilot who had vanished during the landing, was back on board. She remembered nothing. "I woke up in my seat," she said, confused. "I don't remember leaving." "No injury, no time gap, no memory loss signs," said Sarn, the ship's medic. "It's like she never left." "But I saw her vanish," Drex replied. "She was there, and then gone." They ran the ship's records. The landing log was missing. The footage was corrupted. Only one thing remained, the message on Drex's console. "We see you." Drex turned to the crew. "We're not done here. Something wants us to stay. Should we land again?" Asked Ree, her feathers twitching. "No," Drex said. "Not yet." Just then, something shifted in space. Not in front of them, but behind, the moon. Its surface flickered like heat waves. In the air, slowly, it started changing shape. Smooth lines appeared where craters had been. Lights blinked from its surface. "It's alive again," whispered Sarn. "It's waking up." The ship's systems began to flash red. Warning. Gravity shift detected. Unknown mass movement. The moon was opening again, but this time, they weren't being scanned. They were being called. A deep humming sound filled the ship. Low, steady like a heartbeat. Then a corridor of light appeared in space. A tunnel made of energy, starting at the moon and pointing straight toward them. "It wants us to enter," said Ree. "That's not a request," said Drex. "It's a command." The whisper moved forward on its own. None of the controls worked. The ship was flying itself, straight into the light. The moment they crossed the beam, everything changed. Outside, stars disappeared. Earth vanished. The moon was gone. There was only darkness, but not empty. They floated through a silent sky, black but glowing slightly like the edge of a dream. Suddenly, bright blue shapes began forming ahead. Not ships. Not planets. Eyes. Massive, glowing eyes. In the dark, Drex leaned forward. "Are they machines?" "No," said Ree. "They're watching." Then came the voice. Not from speakers. Not from outside. From inside their minds. "You wanted answers. Now you will see." The ship stopped moving. In front of them floated a giant orb, glass-like, filled with flashing lights and storms. It wasn't a planet. It was a memory sphere. Images appeared inside it. Cities, battles, stars. People running. People screaming. Ships burning. Weapons never seen before. "Are these past events?" asked Sarn. "No," Drex said slowly. "Some are in the future." One vision showed the Council's homeworld on fire. Another showed Earth, reshaped, brighter, surrounded by machines that moved like living things. Then a final image. A face. Human. But not. Its skin glowed. Its eyes held galaxies. It looked straight at them and spoke. "Earth never needed help," it said. "Earth needed time." The sphere vanished. The ship spun suddenly and was thrown backward. Everyone fell. Lights blinked out. And then, silence. They were back. Earth below. Moon above. No lights. No beams. Everything normal. "Did that just happen?" whispered Ree. Sarn checked the clock. "We were gone for 3 seconds. "No," Drex said. "We were gone for hours." He checked the ship logs again. New files had appeared. Thousands of them. Strange data, unknown math, and a message in human English. "You saw the memory of the sky. You now hold the keys." Back. On the Council world, alarms rang. Entire star systems were experiencing tech disruptions. Ancient satellites had rebooted themselves, and worse unknown. Beacons had activated near the edges of the galaxy. They all pointed to Earth. Speaker Vor watched the reports in horror. "What have they done?" he whispered. A soft voice behind him said, "They have returned." He turned sharply. It was Kella, the Eye woman from Orion. Her eyes glowed slightly. "You knew," Vor growled. "You knew Earth wasn't gone." "I suspected," she replied. "Now I'm sure." She held out a small cube. It was warm, beating. This came through our deepest network. It's human code. It speaks of a sky memory and a warning. Vor took the cube. A voice played inside it. The same voice Drex heard in the memory sphere. "Do not fear silence," it said. "Fear what wakes after." Back aboard, the whisper. Drex stared out the window. The stars seemed different now, brighter, or maybe just closer. "Do you think they're watching us again?" Ree asked. Drex nodded. "They never stopped." "Are we the first?" "No," he replied. "Just the first to survive it." The console blinked again. One final message appeared. "The sky is no longer dead. We're listening now." The whisper floated above Earth, its engines quiet but steady. Inside the ship, no one spoke. Everyone was thinking about what they saw, the memory sphere, the glowing eyes, the voice that spoke inside their minds. Captain Drex stared at Earth. It looked normal, but he didn't trust it. He couldn't. He turned to his crew. "We're going down again. This time, we find out what really happened here." Sarn raised an eyebrow. "We already tried. The city was empty. And still." "Alive," Drex said. "Buildings moved. Roads cleaned themselves. That wasn't a dead world, Ree nodded slowly. Something was there, something that made me forget. This time, they chose a different landing site, a dry, dusty area far from any city. Satellite scans showed strange underground structures. Below the surface dot as they landed, a red storm rolled across the land. The dust didn't blow like on normal planets. It moved in circles, slow and smooth, as if it had a mind of its own. "Keep your helmets on," Drex ordered. "I don't trust." The air here, the crew stepped out into the dust. The ground crunched under their boots. It looked like a desert, but the soil was too fine, almost like powdered metal. They walked in silence for several minutes. Then Sarn spotted something. "Look," he said. "A hatch." It was hidden beneath the sand round, rusted, with old Earth writing on it. Ree brushed the letters clean. "Facility Echo 7, she read. "Restricted access." Drex placed his hand on the panel. The hatch didn't open, but then, without warning, it did. They climbed down into the darkness. Their suit lights flickered, then steadied. The corridor was old, filled with dust, but the air inside was breathable. "We're under the surface now," Drex said. "Keep moving." They walked past broken doors, shattered screens, and long-dead machines. But something felt wrong. "There's no decay," Ree whispered. "No insects, no mold. It's like the dust cleans everything." Suddenly, they reached a large chamber. Inside was a strange machine, tall and black, covered in wires and glowing lines. In front of it sat a single chair, and in that chair, a skeleton. Human. Still in uniform. The crew froze. Sarn stepped forward and examined the body. No sign of violence. He just sat down and never got up. Beside the body was a small recorder. Drex picked it up and pressed play. A voice crackled to life. Male, calm. "This is Commander Harris, Earth Defense. If you're hearing this, it means you've entered the Echo 7 vault. Good. That means it worked." The crew listened closely. "We knew this day would come, not the war, the silence. We chose to leave, but we couldn't take everyone. Some stayed to guard the past." The message paused, then continued. "We cleaned the planet, erased the weapons, sealed the knowledge. Earth became a memory vault, not a battlefield. That was our final mission." Drex looked around. The machine behind the skeleton started to hum softly. Then the voice said one last thing. "Whoever you are, remember this. We are still out there. And if the sky ever darkens again, we will return." Suddenly, the machine behind them activated. Blue light filled the room. "Captain!" Ree shouted. "Something's coming online." The machine projected an image in the air, a map of the galaxy, and human colonies hidden across thousands of systems. "Impossible," Sarn whispered. "We've never seen these." The map shifted. A timeline appeared. Events from Earth's past. The rise of machines, the Great Silence, the mass departure. Each event was stored in the machine. Each one had a message, a voice, a name. It was a library of human memory, buried in the dust. Ree touched one of the floating icons. A woman's face appeared, smiling. She spoke softly. "My name is Ayla. I was born in the year 3090. I was a mother, a teacher. I left Earth with my family. If you are listening to this, then you are standing where I once stood. Remember us not as conquerors, but as dreamers." The images faded. The chamber shook. Lights flashed red. The machine was sending something out, a signal. Strong, fast, far. "Captain, look." Sarn pointed at the ship's portable scanner. "This signal is broadcasting to deep space." Drex stared at the machine. "It's alerting them." "To who?" asked Ree. "The ones who left," he said. "It's telling them we're here." Suddenly, a wall behind the machine slid open. A hallway lit up, one light at a time. As if inviting them. They followed it. The hallway led them to another room much larger, filled with glass tubes. Inside each one floated objects. Old Earth items. A child's toy, a violin, a pair of glasses. Every item had a memory recording attached. Holograms played as they walked past. A father holding his daughter. A couple dancing at their wedding. A soldier planting a flag on Mars. Why store all this? Ree asked quietly. To remember, Drex said. To remind themselves of who they were. At the center of the room stood a single tube. Inside was a suit, sleek, black, glowing with faint blue lines. Not armor. Not clothes. It was alive. What is that? Sarn asked. The chamber lights dimmed. A voice echoed from above. Prototype. Sentinel class. It was the same voice from earlier. Calm. Human. This suit was made to protect memory. One sentinel was left behind to guard Earth. But now, more may be needed. The suit opened with a soft hiss, and then the message spoke again. If you carry the truth, then wear it. Drex stared at the suit, then looked at his crew. I think this was meant for us, he said. I stepped forward. Are you sure? This could be a trap. Or a gift, Sarn said. Drex reached out and touched the suit. It wrapped around him instantly, gentle, fast, like it had been waiting. He gasped. He could see more now. Hear more. Feel more. The walls spoke to him in light and code. Memories poured into his mind, millions of them. Not just history, emotions, ideas, warnings. I can feel them, he whispered. All of them. Everyone who ever lived here. The chamber lights pulsed once. Then the hallway behind them shut tight. A screen flashed. Memory transfer complete. Earth protocols restored. Outside, the red storm stopped. The dust fell to the ground. And for the first time in centuries, Earth spoke again. A signal blasted into space, a beam of light, filled with the past, the truth, and a name. Not a warning, not a threat, just a whisper. We are still here. Captain Drex stood alone on the observation deck, still wearing the living suit. It pulsed gently with blue light, whispering old thoughts and forgotten memories. Each second, it showed him more faces he didn't know, worlds he'd never seen. Were human memories. But not from this time. The ship had changed too. After leaving the underground chamber, the whisper had stopped responding to normal controls. It flew itself, rising into high orbit, silent, purposeful. Sarn and Ree sat quietly in the main control room, their eyes fixed on the screen. Why are we waiting here? Ree asked softly. I don't know, Sarn replied. But I think the ship does. That's when the message arrived. It didn't come by transmission. It didn't travel through normal channels. It appeared on every screen inside the ship. Bright white letters on black. Play. Drex stepped forward and touched. The screen. The message began. A human appeared, middle-aged, gray eyes, calm voice. He wore the same living suit Drex now wore. I am Commander Elias Rain, he said. This is the final message. If you're watching this, it means Earth has been entered. Memory has been accessed. You are now part of the final protocol. The man paused and looked directly into the camera. This message is not for humans. It's for whoever found us. The background changed. Behind him, stars flickered. Planets moved in fast forward. Cities rose and fell. We did not disappear. He said, we left. The image changed again, this time showing a massive fleet of black ships, vanishing into deep space. We saw the galaxy was not ready, too divided, too primitive, too loud. Rain leaned closer, so we chose silence. We erased ourselves. Hit our machines, hit our minds, but we watched, always. Sarn whispered, he's speaking to us. Like he knew we'd come. I think he did, Drex said. The recording continued. We built sentinels to wait in silence, to watch for the sign of change. If you found this message, then the test is complete. Test? Ree asked, eyes narrowing. Rain spoke again. The test was Earth. A trap, a signal, a mirror. Not to harm you, but to reveal who you are when no one answers back. He smiled faintly. We heard your messages. We studied your culture. Most of you came in peace. Some came for power. A few came to destroy. But only the patient ones found the truth. The screen flashed quickly images of ships failing, empires falling, beings turning away from Earth after getting no response. And now, Rain said, you've awakened the last key. The screen faded. Then a symbol appeared. It was the Earth surrounded by a ring of stars. A new voice replaced. Rain's, female, soft, almost like it came from the stars themselves. Do you wish to speak with us? Drek stepped forward. Yes, he said clearly. We do. The ship trembled, lights dimmed. Then, slowly, the view outside began to change. A black circle opened in space. A hole, a gateway, on the other side. Something vast. It's a wormhole. Sarn said in shock. No, Drex whispered. It's a channel. A direct line. The voice spoke again. Proceed only if your heart is clear. No weapon, no greed, no lie. Drex looked at his crew. Do we go? We came this far, Ree said. If we turn back now, we lose everything, Sarn added. Drex nodded. Take us through. The whisper entered the gateway. There was no motion. No sense of speed. Just a flicker of light. Then they were somewhere else. The ship floated inside a massive chamber the size of a small moon. Around them hovered strange machines like stars frozen in place. Then, in front of them, a figure appeared. It was human. Or it used to be. Tall, glowing, wrapped in shifting light. Drex felt his chest tighten. The suit hummed louder, as if it knew this presence. I am the Echo, said the figure. The last voice of Earth's first wave. You're human? Drex asked. I was, the Echo replied. Now I am memory, data, emotion. Wrapped in light, Sarn stepped forward. Why leave Earth? Why hide everything? The Echo's voice darkened. We tried to help once. We gave knowledge. We gave peace, and the galaxy burned with it. Drex frowned. What do you mean? The chamber filled with images of aliens using human tech to destroy others, enslave weaker races, and create weapons of terrifying power. We gave them tools, the Echo said. They made chains, so you just left? Ree asked. No, the Echo answered. We paused. We waited. We hid the truth and watched the galaxy grow on its own. Drex asked the one question that had haunted him since arriving. Are you coming back? The Echo's face grew still. Yes, it said at last, but not in the way you think. A map appeared, showing the galaxy human symbols lighting up across every major system. We've already returned, quietly, silently, helping where we are needed. Ending what should not live, healing what others break. Ree's eyes widened. You've been in our systems all along? We never left, the Echo replied. Then the Echo looked directly at Drex. You wear the Sentinel suit, it said. You were chosen by Earth itself. You hold the keys. What does that mean? Drex asked. The Echo's voice became softer. You will speak for us. Not to rule, not to lead, but to warn. Warn who? Sarn asked. Everyone, the Echo said. Because something is coming. The chamber darkened. A shape appeared behind the Echo. Vast, burning red. Before we left, we saw something. In the void, a force not born of life. It feeds on memory. It eats history, Drex whispered. A weapon? A hunger, the Echo said. We barely escaped it, but now we think it found our trail. The image vanished. You must return. Tell the Council. Tell the galaxy. Earth has seen the future, and it is not kind. The gateway opened again behind them. The Echo stepped back. One last thing, it said. Tell them this. It's glowing. Hand pointed toward the stars. We do not come to rule. We do not come to beg. We come to finish what we started. The light faded. The whisper turned itself around and flew back into the gateway. As the stars returned and Earth came back into view, Drek stood in silence. Ray placed a hand on his shoulder. You okay, Captain? He nodded slowly. I think the galaxy just got a final warning. Back on the Council world, Speaker Vor stared at the incoming transmission. It came from Earth, encrypted in a language older than any they used. One line, one final message. The silence is over. The Watchers have spoken. The Council's capital was in panic. A transmission had arrived from Earth. A voice had spoken calm, strong, and final. The silence is over. The Watchers have spoken. It wasn't a threat, but it felt like one. The news spread fast. Across star systems, governments panicked. Ships were recalled. Borders locked down. Science fleets tried to decode the message. Military fleets were put on alert. Speaker Vor stood at the center of the storm, his mind racing. This cannot be ignored, he said. We've spent 300 years thinking Earth was dead. Now they speak like they've been watching. US the whole time. Beside him stood Director Kella, the AI diplomat from Orion. They haven't just been watching, she said. They've been moving, quietly, invisibly. What do you mean? Kella turned, her eyes glowing faintly. Black holes behaving unnaturally. Dead moons changing orbit. Entire planets suddenly stabilized. You thought those were natural events? No, that was them. They were testing the galaxy. Vor's voice dropped to a whisper. And now? Kella looked toward the stars. They've returned. Above Earth, the whisper floated in orbit. Captain Drek stood still, his hands locked behind his back. The sentinel suit he wore felt heavier now. He had spoken to the echo. He had seen the hidden power of humanity. And now, the galaxy was waking up to a truth it had long ignored. Behind him, Ree and Sarn watched the star map on the screen. One by one, signals were lighting up across the galaxy, hidden beacons, long dormant. Are those human ships? Sarn asked. No, Drek said. They're hubs, sentinels, storage zones, quiet observers hidden in the dark for centuries. The screen zoomed in. A dot near the edge of the galaxy blinked red. Then it disappeared. Another followed. Then a third. Something's destroying the hubs, Ree said, alarmed. No, Drex whispered. Something's consuming them. The ship shook. A message came through, not from Earth, not from the Council. From deep space. Unknown force detected. Origin unknown. Probability of survival decreasing. Humanity response required. Back on the Council capital, Vor held an emergency meeting. Screens lit up with images of destruction, space stations torn apart. Mining worlds turned to ash, signals wiped clean like they'd never existed. But no one saw an enemy. No ships. No weapons, just vanishing. Is it Earth's doing? Someone asked. No, Kella replied. Earth warned us. Something else is coming. Vor slammed his fist on the table. Then where is Earth's fleet? Where are their ships? A deep voice answered from the shadows of the chamber. They were never gone. Everyone turned. A figure stepped forward. He was human, but not normal. His eyes glowed softly. His skin shimmered. He wore no armor, but the air around him seemed to bend. I am Ashen 5, he said, Earth's first wave. And I am here to help. At the same moment, across hundreds of planets, something incredible happened. Out of black holes, out of asteroid belts, out of gas clouds, ships appeared, massive, silent, black as void, with strange designs and glowing cores. Some were as large as moons, some looked like insects. Others had no visible engines. They simply moved, like thought in space. The forgotten fleet of humanity had returned, and they didn't speak. They acted in orbit around a burning colony world. A human ship appeared without warning. It deployed strange drones that absorbed the energy of the collapsing sun, restoring it. On another planet, where a council outpost had been wiped out by an unknown force, a human craft hovered above the remains and reversed time in a field of space, restoring everything to how it was an hour ago. Reese stared at the reports in shock. "This isn't military," she said. "It's godlike," Drex nodded. "They never wanted to be gods. But they prepared for things we couldn't imagine." Suddenly, an alarm sounded. A new object had entered the galaxy. Unlike anything seen before, it wasn't just large. It bent space around it. Sensors couldn't read its shape. Time near it slowed. "It's here," Drex said. "The thing Earth feared." Sarn's voice shook. "It's heading straight for the Council homeworld. And the human fleet?" "It didn't move to stop it. Not yet." Drex activated the Sentinel interface. The suit responded, glowing brighter. "I need to speak to them." He stepped into the communication chamber. The walls turned dark, requesting link to primary Earth AI. A moment passed. Then a woman appeared, holographic, soft-voiced, calm-eyed. "You are the key holder," she said. "I saw what's coming," Drex replied. "Why aren't you stopping it?" "We needed the galaxy to see," she said. "See what?" "That they're not ready. That silence was never weakness. That what they feared is what now protects them." Drex clenched his fists. "So you let it attack as a lesson?" "No," the AI said. "We studied it. We prepared. Now we neutralize." Above the Council world, the void shifted. The creature, if it was a creature, had no clear shape. It looked like a storm of black glass and red lightning, flowing in all directions. Then, for the first time, it spoke, not in words, but in sound. Scream, a scream that crossed dimensions, that broke metal, that shattered moons. People across the galaxy heard it in their dreams. It was hunger. Pure, endless hunger. Then, from Earth, the final wave launched. 10 ships. Smaller than the giants before, but perfect, each shaped like a diamond. Burning with blue light, they moved silently, then faster than light, appearing in front of the creature. Screams stopped, for the first time in billions of years. It was afraid. The human ships unleashed no weapons. Instead, they sang. Soft, mathematical tones that rewrote the laws of nearby space. Time folded. Gravity turned. The creature shrank, screamed again, and then silence. It was gone. Erased not by force, but by design. A final signal echoed from the lead ship. "It was not the first. It will not be the last. But we are ready now. And so must you be." Back on the Whisper, Drex watched as the stars returned to normal. Earth sent one final message to all systems. No threats. No commands. Just this: we never vanished. We grew. And when we saw the danger coming, we did not shout. We prepared. The forgotten are no longer forgotten. In the council chamber, Speaker Vor sat silently. His people, once proud and powerful, had just been saved by a species they had ignored, mocked, and feared. He turned to Ashen 5, still standing calmly at them. Center of the room. "What now?" Vor asked. Ashen the 5 smiled. "Now," he said, "you listen." The council room was colder than usual. Even with the glowing pillars and golden banners of the Galactic Union around them, none of the leaders felt proud today. No one spoke. No one moved. They had just been saved by Earth, by the species they ignored for centuries. And worse, Earth hadn't asked for thanks. Speaker Vor finally broke the silence. "We can't allow this," he said. Someone across the table blinked. "Allow what?" "Earth has more power than all of us combined," Vor said. "They were silent for centuries. And now they return like gods. We are nothing in front of them." "They saved us," another voice said. "Without a single demand." "That's exactly the problem," Vor shouted. They don't need anything from us. That means we are useless to them, replaceable, and someday they'll treat us like ants. The room fell quiet again. Then Counselor Relic, a reptilian leader from the mid-sector, leaned forward. What do you suggest? Vor lowered his voice. We must act, not with war, not with open threat. But we must find their weakness. Relic's eyes narrowed. Or create one. Far from the Council's capital, on the edge of known space, the whisper moved silently through a debris field. Captain Drex sat in the command chair, watching old signals from the last battle. He rewound the moment again and again, the human fleet facing the creature, their diamond ships singing, the enemy erased like it never existed. Sarn entered the bridge. You're still watching that? Drex didn't answer right away. Then he said, they didn't just destroy it. They rewrote it, like it was code. That wasn't a fleet, Ree added from behind. That was a message. Earth was saying, we control the rules now. Or, Drex said, they were reminding us what they've always been capable of. Just then, an alert blinked. A transmission. Council security. Code Theta read, Drex read. Urgent recall. All Earth-related operations paused. Sarn frowned. Why would they halt Earth missions now? Because they're afraid, Drex whispered. On the Council homeworld, deep underground, Vor entered a hidden lab. Inside, glowing tubes pulsed with energy. Scientists worked around a giant sphere covered in dark metal and strange carvings. This, one of them said, was found near the edge of Earth's old territory. It was buried in a dead star. What is it? Vor asked. A gate. Or a key. We think it connects to Earth's central I-core. If we can unlock it, Vor's eyes lit up, then we can see inside. Learn their systems, their plans, their weaknesses. Or, the scientist warned, we wake something they kept buried. Vor smiled. Let it wake. Then we'll see what Earth truly fears. Ashen 5 stood on the roof of the Council building, watching the stars. He had been quiet since the battle. He said nothing as the Council held meetings. He just watched. He knew what they were doing. Earth knew too. They were letting it happen. Ree met him on the rooftop. They don't trust you, she said. I know, Ashen 5 replied, and yet you stay. I was built to stay, he said simply. To watch, to wait, and when needed, to respond. She looked up at the stars. Do you think the Council will make the right choice? No, Ree was silent for a moment. Then why not stop them? Ashen 5 turned to her, his eyes glowing brighter. Because sometimes, the galaxy must burn its hand to understand fire. Back in the lab, Vor gave the command. Activate it. The scientists hesitated. Then pushed the sequence. The sphere glowed red. The lights in the room flickered. A deep hum filled the air. Then a voice, soft, cold, human. Unauthorized entry detected. Warning, Level 9 protocol engaged. Suddenly, the sphere cracked open. Light poured out. Then nothing. Everything went black. The lab systems died. All screens blinked off. Then flickered on. A message appeared. You were warned. In space, strange things began to happen. Ships near Earth vanished. Navigation systems failed. Artificial gravity reversed on colonies. A massive power outage struck 3 core worlds. Then came the worst part. Earth's ships didn't respond. They disappeared from sensors. No messages. No movements. Silence again. But this time, it felt different. Cold. Deliberate. Vor stood in the center of the Council hall, surrounded by panic. This is retaliation, someone screamed. What did you do? He didn't answer. He couldn't. Then a blinding light filled the chamber. A figure stood in the middle of it. Ashen-5. But he wasn't calm now. He was glowing. Eyes burning like suns. You were told not to touch the gate. He said. Vor stepped back. We had to know. Ashen Five's voice echoed through the walls. You didn't want knowledge, you wanted control. And now you have neither. The power across the galaxy failed. Then a single signal came through, from Earth, a woman's voice. The same one Drex heard before. We gave you time. We gave you peace, and when danger came, we gave protection. But now we give you distance. Across the galaxy, every gate leading to Earth shut down. The planet disappeared from maps. All Earth ships turned to silent mode. No response. No return. The Council had been cut off, not destroyed. Just ignored. Like children who broke something too powerful to understand. Drex sat on the Whisper, staring at the dead feed. He felt the silence deeper than before. It wasn't empty. It was a message. They're not angry, he said. I looked at him. Then what are they? He looked out the window, disappointed. Somewhere beyond known space, behind the last stars, Earth watched. The old voice spoke one last time. You feared the silent planet. Now you'll miss its voice. And then nothing. The galaxy was quiet, but not at peace. After Earth vanished from all networks, the stars felt colder. Trade slowed. Borders hardened. Fear spread faster than light. And the Council was broken. The leaders had lost the trust of the people. Riots began on core worlds. Ships refused orders. Some planets even declared independence. Without Earth, balance was gone. Inside the ruined Council Hall, only a few members still met. The banners were torn. The lights flickered. Voarfar sat at the head, tired and angry. This is the moment, he said. We take control again. We create a new order. Without Earth? Asked Counselor Lura, a thin woman with cybernetic eyes. We can't even reach half the systems. They think we're finished. Vor stood. Then we must give them something else to believe in. Something stronger than Earth. We create a threat and destroy it. Show them our strength, Relic growled. A false war? Vor nodded slowly. Yes, we invent an enemy. We win, and the galaxy will fear us again. The room fell silent. No one agreed. No one disagreed. They just watched, on a hidden moon. Captain Drex repaired the Whisper with Ree and Sarn. The ship had suffered in the power collapse. Now they were alone, like the rest of the sector. Drex stared at the black screen. Earth's channel had been dead for weeks. I sighed. Do you think they're watching? Yes, Drex said. Then why don't they speak? Because they already did. Suddenly, a message blinked on their console, encrypted. Council Origin.Drex opened it. It showed blurry images, ships attacking colonies, fires, death, panic. A red stamp read. Extreme threat detected. Outer void species returning. All forces to unite. Below, it was a personal message from Vor. You were right, Captain. We need you. The darkness has returned. Sarn frowned. This looks fake. It is fake, Drex whispered. I leaned closer. How do you know? Because that species was wiped out by Earth, completely. I saw it. There's nothing left to return. They all stood still. Then Drex said, the Council wants a new war. Across the galaxy, propaganda spread fast. Fake footage. Edited battles. Testimonies from paid survivors. News channels screamed, Void beasts return. Posters appeared, unite or die. Recruiters visited every world. Join the fight. Fear returned to the stars, and the Council became strong again. But not everyone believed. In the city of Vornis, a girl named Kala found an old recording in a library vault. It showed Earth's last message. You feared the silent planet. Now you'll miss its voice. She played it again and again. Her father, a former pilot, watched her. They saved us, she said softly. Why did we turn against them? Because power is easier to chase than truth, he answered. She looked up. Can we speak to them again? He shook his head. Not unless they let us. But deep in her heart, Kala believed Earth was still listening. Inside the secret chamber beneath the council hall, Vor met with a shadowy figure. The man wore no uniform, only a black suit with a silver pin. "You've begun your false war." The man said, "But what if Earth returns?" Vor smiled. "We will blame them, say they created the beasts. Say they abandoned us to suffer. The galaxy will never trust them again. And if Earth doesn't respond? Then we win," the man nodded. "And the AI, the gate?" "Destroyed, or so they think." He turned to a metal case behind him. Inside, the same sphere they had once opened, but now it glowed blue.alive.drex, met with an underground resistance on a mining planet. "You've all seen the lies," he said. "The war isn't real. The council wants obedience." A tall miner stood up. "Then what do we do?" "Find proof," Drex said. "Expose them, and maybe Earth will hear us again." Ree added, "There's a signal buried under the Void Sector, one of Earth's last listening posts. If we activate it, we might send a message. Or bring the Council's army on our heads," Sarn warned. Drex smiled. "Then let them come." In the shadows of space, in the cold ruins of Earth's old stations, something stirred. Not a weapon, not a ship, a mind. Ashen 5 watched. Quietly through fractured data channels, he saw the fake war. He heard the Council's lies. He did not speak. Not yet. But when the time came, the galaxy would learn again. In the core system, Vor announced the creation of the Unified Star Legion. Ships launched, flags waved. Worlds celebrated their new protection. And above them, satellites broadcasted one message: the new order begins. But far away, in a dead zone no longer marked on maps, a single satellite blinked on. It received a code. Old. Familiar. Human. It played a message to those still seeking truth. Earth is watching, and the silence is not surrender. The stars were trembling. Ships drifted silently near the Void Sector. Communications were jammed. A heavy pulse echoed across deep space. Not sound, but something older. Something forgotten. A voice. Not in words. In memory. In power. Captain Drex stood on the edge of the satellite platform, eyes locked on the blinking blue screen. "It worked," whispered Ree. Her voice shook. The message had gone out. Earth's last signal, their final broadcast. But now, something was coming back. "It's them," Drex said. "After all these years, they heard us." Behind them, resistance members stood still. Some cried. Others just stared into the dark sky. From the edge of the system, hundreds of ships appeared. But they weren't council ships. These were older. Stronger. Human. Black metal. Red lights. Markings in old Earth languages. Not sleek, brutal. Built for war. And in the center of it all, a massive ship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It blocked out stars as it moved. Its engines were silent. No weapons fired, but the message was clear. Humanity had returned. Counselor Vor watched from the grand tower on Central World, careless. He dropped his glass as the sensor feeds came in. "No," he whispered. He turned to his officers. "Shut down the networks, control the media. Tell them it's another illusion, another threat." "But it's real," said General Rees. "That's Earth's flagship. The Oblivion Star. It was only a myth." Ver's voice rose. "Myth or not, destroy it." "No weapons are locking," the officer said. "They've jammed our entire fleet." Ver's hands shook. "Then surrender nothing. Prepare for ground defense. We do not kneel." But outside, worlds already were. On the streets of a colony. World, Kala watched the sky change. Her father ran beside her. "Look," he said, pointing upward. "Do you see it?" She nodded slowly. They came back. She felt tears. "I never gave up. I knew they weren't gone." The sky lit up as one of the smaller human ships landed. It didn't fire. It didn't threaten. Its doors opened. And from inside, a man stepped out, not metal. Not a machine. Human. He looked tired, but strong. His voice echoed across every speaker. You called, we came. That was all he said. That was enough. In the council's war room, Vor paced wildly. We need leverage, he shouted. We need to remind the galaxy who rules it. No one believes in the council anymore, Lura replied coldly. Your war is over. Your lies have died. You side with them? I side with truth. He raised a weapon, shaking, but she was faster. With a sharp flash, his control bracelet sparked and locked his limbs. He collapsed. Take him, she said. Let the humans decide his fate. In the deep command deck of the Oblivion Star, Admiral Solon stood silently. She was old, her face scarred, but her voice was calm. Broadcast. A young officer nodded. Solon stepped forward. To the galaxy. This is Admiral Solon of Earth's High Defense. We never vanished. We waited. We watched. We remembered. Her voice grew harder. When you called us ghosts, we trained in silence. When you said Earth was dead, we built in darkness. When you feared our return, we made sure you would never forget us again. She paused. This is not a conquest. We are not here to destroy. We are here to warn. People across systems leaned in. A greater danger is coming, not from us, from beyond the known stars. You saw it once, in the Edge Wars, but we saw more. We know what sleeps in the deep. A chart appeared beside her, showing a part of the galaxy completely black. This void is not empty. It is alive. And it is watching us now. Gasps filled homes, ships, stations. We offer you a choice, Solon said. Join us not as slaves, as allies, or prepare to face what comes alone. In a quiet temple on a desert moon, a small child walked to an old statue of Earth. He pressed his hand to it. The metal glowed. The temple speakers played Earth's anthem. People gathered in silence. Peace, at last, was possible. Drex, Ree, and Sarn were taken aboard the Oblivion Star. They walked through the giant halls, watching humans train, repair, and monitor the galaxy. You were right all along, Ree said to Drex. He smiled. No, I just refused to stop believing. Solon met them at the bridge. You spoke for us when no one would. You reminded them who we were. She reached into her coat and handed Drex a small black device. A gift, she said. From the voice of humanity. He pressed the button. A new beacon activated. Across every world, station, and satellite, a message played. Humanity has returned, not to rule, but to rise together. The council was gone. Borders opened. Truth spread. Fear faded. And in its place, hope. Far in the coldest part of space, beyond the last stars, something opened one red eye. It had waited long. It had fed on silence. But now, the voice of humanity had returned, and the real war was about to begin.